Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Here I'm going to show you how to thread your brother 1034D Serger. Now this is by far my favorite serger that I've used since I've had my business as well. It's under $300. I bought all of mine through Amazon, so definitely check them out there. You can get them through Joann as well. I own 4 of them. I use them every day. I have 4 of them because I just have different colors that I work on. I sew mostly a lot of black apparel, but I do have some color here and there with my Sailor Moon collection. So I keep my main colors kind of on all these machines at all times just to save time with threading. So I keep black on this one, and I'm going to show you how to thread the black serger cones onto this machine now. So super easy. Before you start anything, just make sure you have the tools, and all you need to thread these machines are a good pair of tweezers. I use this Cricut pair. It comes in like their variety set toolkit, I think. So check them out. I did get these from Joann. They come in like a little set of like a few different weeding and tweezer tools. This is by far my favorite because it has a little bent edge and the little tip that's slanted. It does come in handy when you're kind of weeding through the upper and lower looper threads. And I'll show you that in the next few steps. Now with your thread, I prefer to use 2 smaller cones on the left and right needles and then larger cones on the upper and lower loopers because they use more thread each time that you're serging. And you'll see the little color code here for each type of thread, so you know exactly which one you're getting out of each spot. So no matter what, you have to start with the upper looper. So go ahead and place your serger cones on the stands. Take the thread, loop it through the guide at the top, and then click it through this guide right here. You're going to know it went through because you hear that little click sound. Push aside the little thread guide here. Slide through the disc. Now go ahead and do the lower looper next. Same thing through the thread stand. The guide, again, hear that click. Go ahead and keep that there. And I'm kind of doing this to have everything ready to go before we open the front compartment. And then go ahead and do the right needle. Again. And what I really like about this serger is that there are little guides everywhere. Everything's color coded, easy to follow. Now I'm going to turn my machine on. I know most people say make sure your machine is off for safety reasons, but as long as you keep your foot away from the foot pedal, you'll be fine. So go ahead and thread the right needle thread through. The left needle has a really similar step as the right needle. Go ahead and slip them through the guides. Same path as the right needle. Go ahead and pull it through the needle, and all the tails should be behind the sewing plate. So I like to just pull them ahead of time now before you do the upper and lower loopers. All right, so now that you have all your threads kind of set up for the next step, you're going to hold on to the upper and lower looper, remove the scrap catcher, go ahead and slide to the right and pop open this front door. Now, please excuse my machine. It's never going to be 100% clean like some other people that you see on here because I actually use my machines. I just got done sewing a bunch of velvet orders, so you're going to see a little bit of dust and lint. It's okay. I'm human. This machine is a beast, so please excuse her messy appearance. It's okay. I did the best I could. Anyway, so once you open the front compartment, you're going to see everything kind of color-coded here. So it is simple to use. I think this is by far the most user-friendly serger. This is great for people that are beginner all the way to advanced. It can like help you with any kind of sewing needs that you have. And it's been a great machine for me all these years working with my brand. So first things first, upper looper again. Now you see here these little green guides, and it matches the color of the tension dials up here. So you're going to go ahead and take the upper looper, take your tweezers, put it through the first hook underneath here. Now there's color coded dots here, so you know exactly which one goes through here. Up through there. And then you're going to put it through the eye of the upper looper. And then again, pull the tail back so it's with the left and right needle threads. Let's do the lower looper now. Same thing, follow the guides. This is all the blue lines. They go under both of these little guides here. Through the hook. Now this is my little tip when you're on the last step of threading the lower looper. When you get to the second to last step before the eye, I like to kind of thread the eye first. And then that way you can kind of guide the loose thread here behind this little hook. And then that way when you pull it and you slide the little guide here until it matches there, it's already nice and flush in there. So that way you're not getting too tangled up with when you're threading the lower looper. So again, all the tails are facing the back. And as you see here, like everything should match the exact color-coded guide that you have here. And if not, take your time. This will take some practice to get used to. But I do love how this machine has everything color-coded to make it easy to follow along. So if everything's threaded properly, you should be okay to start serging. Always make sure that when you are threading the threads through that you have all the tension dials set at 0. I know some people will keep it kind of preset to whatever they need and then they'll kind of squeeze the thread through, but I just feel like if you have it all at 0, it'll make it easier for you to kind of just slide through all the tension discs. That way it's just a lot easier when you're threading through the machine. So yep, everything should look like that. I like to lift the presser foot and make sure all the thread tails are contained underneath. Okay, and then you go ahead and throw and close the front door, pop the thread catcher back in, go ahead and do a test serge. And there you go. You should have a nice smooth serger tail. So now that you've got the machine nicely threaded and everything's ready to go, before you start using your machine, you want to make sure it's oiled and that you have the proper settings, meaning the proper settings on the left for your stitch length, and you want to make sure that you have the proper tension set. So for me, most of mine, I use 4455. This is for like my medium weight, like the velvet that I use for sewing. So I usually keep it on there. Again, check your guide, or you can look up online for easy guides for tension settings for varieties of fabric materials that you have. But I use a lot of knits, so I usually keep it on 4455. That's usually my numbers that I stick to. So for most of my projects. And the next thing you want to make sure you're doing is that you have proper oil in your machine. So again, you're going to open your compartment. Now you can do this before you thread the machine. It's totally up to you. Sometimes I do it before or after. It doesn't matter as long as you're making sure that's oiled. You only have to worry about 3 specific spots for the serger. You're going to make sure that you oil right here, because as you can see, anything that kind of has like a moving part, you want to make sure it's oiled. So that's why you want to make sure that you oil right here and right here at the little joint of the upper looper, and then right here over this little spinning area, because that moves a lot as well when you're sewing. So I like to get my little skull bottle of machine oil and just a drop or 2 right there. I use my machine a lot, so I do oil frequently and I have to clean frequently. Again, if you're using it here and there, just make sure you oil it when you are using it each time, just to keep your machine nice and smooth. So I like to just go ahead and oil that before I start anything. That way you don't have to remember to do it later. And you want to do a couple turns of your wheel just to make sure that the oil is getting distributed, and it should be good to go. Go ahead and close the front door, pop that scrap catcher, and then the next little tip I'm going to give you is I like to put little magnets on my machines. The reason why is they're super convenient when you're trying to grab your tweezers quickly, and I use tapestry needles a lot to tuck in serger tails, so I usually keep a tapestry needle on one of my magnets as well. You can get these easily. These are like the 1-inch magnets that I got from, I believe, Amazon. They have like an adhesive backing. You just pop them on wherever. They're great to have for other things around the house as well, but they're great to kind of pop onto your sewing machine and serger machines. And because I have so many of these, I actually number mine. So this is number 4. The reason why I think you should number your machines if you have multiples is it helps you with keeping track of when you switched out your needles, meaning your machine needles need to be switched out every now and then, depending on how much you're using them and for which kind of project, depending on the fabric. So always number them. It just helps you keep track. And I just keep track of it in my notes on my phone. And then also you want to keep track of when you're changing your blades because you want to keep up on that as well, or else your machine is not going to run as smoothly. And you'll start to see choppiness in your serging when you're using the machine. So just keep that in mind as well. These are just quick little things that I've been using, over the years from my experience of using these machines heavily, to run my handmade business. So, let me know if this works for you. I think you'll find it convenient and helpful as well. If you have any questions, definitely comment below. But I think it's a really easy way to thread these. Don't be scared. I know it can be kind of intimidating to use a serger machine, but they are super easy. I highly recommend the Brother 1034D for anyone who's starting out sewing or even anyone who's advanced. So again, let me know if you have any questions, and I'd love to help. And yeah, I have more videos coming up, so definitely like, comment, subscribe, and I have more fun sewing videos coming out soon. Thanks so much. Bye.